All right, and we're live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one and only V, the Guerrilla Economist, the notorious Glorious, and I'm with my main man, El Cuco, a.k.a. CJ, a.k.a. the master of the flux capacitor, and we're bringing you the news, the views, and all the information important to you. Check us out on the flagship, roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money, Facebook, DTube, Steemit, every single podcasting app known to humanity. We are there. We are there with a bag of chips and then some. And with that being said, check out our sponsors, folks. We have live and in charge. Live and in charge, folks. We got it. You looking for CBD deliciousness? Well, we got it for you. mycbdedibles.com. mycbdedibles.com. El Cuco will later put it onto the description box in this video. Check it out, folks. All sorts of deliciousness that's there. Everything from chocolate peanut butter bullseyes to the almond coconut, which is my personal favorite, CBD infused coffee. And folks, this is the purest isolate. It's 99.99% pure CBD isolate. That's third-party lab tested. None of the garbage junk that's out there. Best tasting products. It will knock your socks off. My family and myself are massive fans of CBD. And if you want to get your CBD supplementation, you want to do it right, check it out. mycbdedibles.com. Place an order, and they will have it shipped to you. Siege, what are some of the details on these products, man?
Yeah, we're gonna get a promotional discount out for Rogue fans as well. I'll get that code set up for tomorrow's show, and for our listeners, for our fans, we're gonna save you 30% off your first order.
Wow!
So I'll get that code. Yeah, 30% off your first order. I'll get that code set up. But just rave reviews like you wouldn't believe. I mean, we had one gentleman that started using just a low dose of our CBD infused coffee. And, again, consult with your doctor before you start any type of vitamin nutrition regimen. But he has actually been documenting. He's an engineer. And for the last 45 days, he's been monitoring his blood pressure because he takes blood pressure medicine. Wow. The last 45 days, just going 7 milligrams of CBD, he's actually been able to scale back his blood pressure medicine. And
holy cow!
Just results like that. My in-laws.
What product is he specifically using?
Coffee, just a CBD infused coffee.
Dude, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow.
The granola bars are about in between like 25, 30 milligrams of CBD. And my in-laws have been using those, and just as far as improved health, again, just consult with your doctor before you start any vitamin regimen. But great products, 99% pure CBD infused, and more importantly, we infuse the product the right way. Too many people will use the full spectrum CBD oil, which adds a lot of other chemicals. It adds a lot of taste based upon their extraction method for the oil. And yeah, so we'll get a coupon code for tomorrow's show. And for Rogue fans, for their first order, we'll save them 30% off their first order.
That is awesome. That's epic, my man. That is absolutely epic. And folks, also check out our other sponsors, RemainCalm.net. RemainCalm.net. If you got collections issues, if you got debt collectors knocking on your door, waving the 4-4, well, call out RemainCalm.net. Check them out. They have their asset protection program. Go check it out. Join it. They will protect you against all levies, liens, and judgments. Heck, I even recommend you ain't got no kind of collections going on. Just having a structured settlement banking option, a super awesome banking option set up, wherein down the road, somebody tries to sue you, somebody tries to levy your account, somebody tries to go after you, you can look at them and laugh. RemainCalm.net, and also check out the cryptoschool.io. The cryptoschool.io. The boys and I will be returning today to talk about a lot of stuff in crypto, so stay tuned for that. We're probably looking at maybe 1 or 2 p.m., but it's definitely happening today. Last week has just been a wash with Memorial Day and all the other stuff, and I've been traveling and I've been working my ass off internationally. So a lot of issues going on last week that I had to take care of, so we couldn't really get together. But today, between 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have the Rogue Coin show, so stay tuned for that. So check it out, cryptoschool.io. Join the Watch Us Trade Room, or if you need an education on cryptos, you want to know what it's like, get a lifetime membership, folks, to the video education series. So we got some great sponsors, great products, great services all lined up for you, all solutions-based. Get the CBD edibles. I can't tell you. See, what's your favorite CBD edible product you got, man? What's your
The
favorite?
white chocolate pecan truffle is just to die for.
Bam.
I mean, it's the perfect blend of white chocolate with pecans, and the center where the CBD infused. I mean, it's just. I mean, I normally like food. I like sweets, but like this particular one, like anytime that I can, if they're in the kitchen, we're gonna do some live streams from the kitchen and things, and show you how the products, show you how some of them are made. I mean, I'm always tempted to be just to grab one and eat one as they're making them, just so that it's that fresh. But yeah, so yeah. It's by far the best item. These are from scratch, handmade items. We try to look at going to a company to produce them, but it just didn't happen. Not for the quality of product that we were wanting to put on the market.
And my personal favorite, man, is the almond coconut, man. That mix is that granola. Oh God, that delicious, crunchy granola, man. All right, my mouth's watering, bro. I got
pineapple. Stop. For the most part, almost all organic, products. I mean, we can pretty much like almost all of them be when you think of like gluten-free and things like that. Almost all of them are, but because of where our kitchen is, we can't label it that just because it's a commercial kitchen and there's other people in there cooking and doing different things. So there's potential for, cross, contaminants like that. So we can't say it's fully 100% organic certified, that type, but very high quality product. So check it out, mycbedibles.com.
Awesome. And Siege, with that being said, let's start off with the funny story of the day. Our incomparable boys called the FBI. They don't lie. These guys are on it. They're in it to win it. If they're not screwing up investigations and coddling terrorists, these guys are accidentally discharging their firearms in in bars. Oh, dude, break this down, Siege. Break this down.
Yeah, so this special FBI officer, apparently he was at a club or whatever, and he started to do his dance, he started to do his thing, and he went to do a backflip, and when he did so, it's actually kind of scary, but his gun, which was holstered in his back, fell out, and then when he leaned down to pick it up, the safety must have came off of it, and it discharged. So right as he was picking up, it discharged and shot. It grazed him, I believe. I don't think it was a full wound, but it grazed one of the bar people that were in the bar hanging out. So paramedics had to come out and check out.
And watch the video of this asshole dancing. What are you doing, asshole, with a gun in your back? They should have had an accidental discharge, and he keeps in his back, right, in the small of his back. He should have done an accidental discharge into his ass. That would have been hilarious. If he would have shot himself in the ass while he's doing his backflip, that would have been fantastic. What a moron. Well, what a flipping moron this is.
And there's somewhat, I mean, for someone like this, you got to remember the training that these individuals should be experiencing. So for even like the normal person, like when you're carrying a weapon, I'm always very mindful of what I'm doing, what activities I'm participating in. But for him, with the training, everything he's received, to be having this holster in his back and then decide to do a dance and a backflip and everything else, I mean, just how irresponsible of that. So again, like the FBI needs this be, but again, it just shows the high caliber of the FBI officers that we have in the field, and this is a great demonstration of that.
Unbelievable, man. Just it's symptomatic of a larger problem. All these things are symptomatic. All these things are empirical evidences. They're all symptomatic of a much larger problem. Meanwhile, buddy, in the land of adults, all I have to say is a proud Viva Italia! Viva Italia. To all my paisans, all my Goombas, all the way out in the land of Italy, the country shaped as a boot. They're giving the boot to the EU. They're taking the boot to the rape refugees and kicking them out. They are gone a hard slant right, and they're even going after George Soros. I'm loving all of the Siege. I'm absolutely loving all of it. Feud is broken out between the libtard billionaire activist and fervent Clinton supporter, war criminal, Nazi sympathizing son of a bitch named George Soros, a.k.a. Georgi Schwartz, and Italy's anti-immigrant league party, which on Friday formed a populist movement in coalition with the Five-Star Party, whose leader, Matteo Salvini, stepped into his new job as deputy prime minister and Minister of the Interior on Friday, pledging to deport hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants. Bum, bum, bum. Salvini's League and the Five Star Movement struck a deal Thursday on a coalition government which works towards putting Italians first. What a damn novel idea. I wonder what's going to happen to Georgi Scrotum under my eyes, Soros. What's going to happen to him, bro?
Yeah, well, the Italian people, they're tired of this mass immigration, that's occurring. And Soros's resolution to this is the EU needs to pay Italy money to house these refugees. Meanwhile, the rapes, the amount of trash that is being produced by these individuals. And the Italian people are sick of it, V. They're like, you know what? We want our national sovereignty back away from the criminals. And then, of course, Soros is out there. Well, we need to be concerned with the influence of Russia over the elections. I mean, come on. I mean, how many times are we going to hear that narrative, V?
The thing with Shorts, this guy, Georgi Shorts, a.k.a. George Soros, a.k.a. Scrotum Balls Eyes. I don't know what he's going to call Scrotum Face. Let's call him Scrotum Face. He has 2 bags under his eyes, man. Look like 2 nut sacks hanging off a raccoon. So this guy, George Soros, okay, he's worried about Russia. He is a dying, irrelevant curmudgeon, and I can't wait till he drops dead. And if he thinks that his 2 effeminate soy boy sons are going to do anything, he's sorely mistaken. They're too beta and too stupid to do much of anything, except just go to gay parties all day. That's about it that they're good for. I love it. It's a whole dynasty. It's a global change that's happening. It's a massive thing. I'm just wondering when the French. I just heard that they moved a great deal of migrants to one of the most wealthiest parts of Paris. So at what point do the French get pissed off at this? I'm still waiting on that one, Siege.
Yeah, same here. I mean, everywhere, right? I mean, this has occurred, and I'm still trying to figure out why Soros is even really allowed to be walking the face of the earth right now with the amount of all his NGOs. We've had several countries that have kicked him completely out. When are we going to do the same thing? I mean, shoot, just take away his lifeline, take away his funds, seize his assets.
That's all part of the plan. You know what happened as of today? QAnon is back. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard that. What was another pow 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 or wow 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 or something like that?
Let's go back to my room.
Boom, boom,
we
boom.
can tweet all night and make messages on 4chan. Let's see what his latest post says.
Well, you know why he was gone so long, V, don't you?
Why?
His internet was disconnected. His mom didn't.
I know what it is. He was gone for so long because QAnon was and is the kid who was being sued by his parents to get out of his house. He's being evicted by his parents, so it was that transitional move that, he had no internet connection. Okay, so he's back. Boom, boom, boom. A week to remember. Dark to light. Blackout necessary. Cute. That's so his last post was May 22nd. He comes back on June 3rd to give us this insightful message. Boom, boom, boom. A week to remember. Dark to light. Blackout necessary. And all of his gallivanting, circle-jerking followers are all sitting there, circle-jerking themselves into a tizzy. Boom, boom. And wasn't Soros supposed to be arrested, CJ?
Soros was supposed to be arrested, back in March or April.
Yeah.
Massive things occurring.
Wasn't his assets supposed to be seized, according to this Q fellow? His assets were frozen. He even said billionaires woke up today and they had no money in their bank account. I haven't heard of one billionaire anywhere in the world that woke up and their bank account read 0.
Well, right. And B, we have to be mindful of what's really happening on the surface of these things, right? I mean, we're getting ready to jump into a great article regarding gold and these things that are happening.
That's not important.
No, that's not important.
Session.
I mean,
trust Sessions, CJ. See, your lack of faith in Sessions is I find it most disturbing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: we're not the only ones that are saying it now. Even some of the people in the MSM are like, Sessions really isn't He's like a lame duck AG. He has done absolutely nothing other than expand the police state and renew the drug war. That's it. That's all he's done.
That's all he's done. It's his crowning achievement. That little curmudgeon. That little Mr. Magoo. He's Mr. Magoo gone awry. That's what he is. Mr. Magoo gone awry. His claim to fame. He recused himself, launching the greatest political witch hunt in U.S. history. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff has expanded the police state. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff has, he has. I mean, my God! As soon as he reinstated civil asset forfeiture, which is a great crowning achievement for this curmudgeon, and his war on cannabis. Yeah, got a lot to. What a great attorney general pick, man! Amazing.
Yeah, what a great pick. Yeah, absolutely. He needs to go away. The sooner, the better.
The better. Fire Sessions, man. Anyway. All right, let's dig into this. It's Monday. I'm feeling a little lighthearted, Siege. I'm not too serious today.
No, go for it, man.
All right. There's a secret revolution. This is our buddy Alistair McLeod over at Gold Money. There's a quiet revolution taking place in the monetary vacuum that's developing on the back of the erosion of the dollar's hegemony. It is perhaps too early to call what's happening to the dollar at the beginning of its demise as world reserve currency, but there is certainly a move away from it in Asia. And every time the Americans deploy their control over global trade settlement as a weapon against the regimes they dislike, nations who are neutral observers take note and consider how to protect themselves just in case. Viva Europe over the Iran issue in Turkey. These are rifts in NATO. Countries in Africa and elsewhere are now taking China's money. And to please the Chinese, Gambia, Burkina Faso, Panama, and the Dominican Republic have all recently severed diplomatic relations with Taiwan. Think about that for a second. Small fry, perhaps, but weather vanes showing which way the wind is blowing. We've seen Russia set up an alternative to SWIFT in order to be free from American monetary interference in the Pan-Asian trade. We've seen China. China also has a SWIFT alternative, folks. It's called CIPS, China Entertainment Systems. We've seen China taking major steps to exclude the dollar from her trade as much as possible and to enhance the role of her own currency. And now we have a schism over Iran between America and Europe that is set up after World War II through the mechanisms of the CIA-controlled American Committee for the United Europe in 1948. It is unprecedented that today America obviously cares less for her relationship with the European allies than she hates Iran. Why is that? Why is that? Whose agenda is at work? Whose agenda is at work when we can shun our hatred for a country? And CJ, this is the hypocrisy of it all, right? And I spoke about this last time, where we call out Iran saying they are a regime, a tyrannical regime. They are the biggest sponsors of terror in the entire world. You know, in the age of the internet, you figure that morons will stop saying such stupid diatribe. They will stop spewing such vitriol in this era of the internet. You'd figure that. You'd figure smart people would say, hey, you know what? We're in the era of fact-checking. We're in the era of social media. We're in the era where people can simply Google the facts. Maybe I should shut up about my rhetoric. Maybe this ain't 1995. Maybe this ain't 2001 where people are just acclimating themselves to high-speed internet. This is 2018 and we're halfway through it. Maybe I should shut up. But no. No, they continue on with their axiomatic responses to real-world scenarios. They respond in kind, repeating themselves like a bunch of rabid parrots. Iran, biggest sponsor of terror. Iran, tyrannical tyranny. Ooh, Iran wants Israel being blown off the face of the earth. Ooh, Iran wants World War III so that Imam Mahdi would come. I mean, how much bullshit, propaganda, BS nonsense have you heard about Iran in the last several decades? Some idiot schmuck, some schmuck named Joseph Kahn or Jonathan Kahn writes a stupid book called A Shemitah. All the idiot evangelicals buy into it. And now they think it's oh my God, like, yeah, that makes so much sense. Iran wants World War III, and they're willing to kill off their whole people so the Imam Mahdi, their Messiah, can show up. Who's really the Antichrist? So the Antichrist is Iranian. This is the kind of BS that propagates and clouds the minds of people. Why is critical thinking such an allergy? Such an allergy to most people in the West. Why is that? Especially specifically the US. What is up with our population? See, folks, you cannot say Iran is the biggest funder of terrorism while you support Saudi Arabia. And as I said last week, CJ, to say that Iran, in comparison to Saudi Arabia, Iran looks like a secular society, a secular Western society with gay people and transgendered running around in comparison to Saudi Arabia. Okay? I mean, there's no comparison. So when the rest of the world understands this, so when the U.S. still sanctions Iran, walks back on the JCPOA, which at the end of the day does nothing but raise oil prices. Thank you. Brilliant move, neocons. I think the maniacal mustache was one of the grand authors of that. You know, the maniacal mustache just, sits there with a bottle of lotion and circle jerks himself. Circle jerks circle jerks himself into a tizzy every night about bombing Iran. John Bolton sits there with a bottle of Vaseline and masturbates every night to images of bombs being dropped on Tehran and innocent Iranian children being blown to bits and starvation and mass genocide and all. That's what gets John Bolton off. So the maniacal mustache is behind this. So the rest of the world sees this, CJ. They see this kind of stuff. You know what they say? You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. We're going to have alternative means. We're going to find alternative ways because we don't want you psychos who can't keep an agreement. You psychos who cannot even stick. You psychos who have broken every single treaty you've ever made. You can't even stick with an agreement. Why can't you be adults? Why can't you be adults? And the rest of the world says, okay, fine. You know what? We're going to move on to bigger, better things. And everybody, folks, whether it's countries or individuals, are always looking for the BBD, the big, better deal. That's all they're looking for, the big, better deal, the bigger, better deal. That's it. Okay? So the Iranian rial has continued to collapse. Its theoretic government has played into the hands by shutting down unauthorized money changers. Whatever his name is, calling for the execution of money changers to help end the currency crisis. He's an idiot. Iranian regime needs to go. There's no doubt about it. It needs to go to a more secular, Islamic, whatever, more secular government, okay? That's best for Iran. There's too many educated people, too many resources there to be wasted on these religious idiots. God, I hate organized religion. The black market rate for the rials has rocketed as a result, and according to Professor Stephen Hankey, whose department at Johns Hopkins University makes a study of things, the true rate of the price of inflation right now is about damn near 75%, Siege. Damn near 75%. But the ordinary Iranian, gold has always been the ultimate money, while the government's rials are rapidly passed on to someone else. And folks, that is the trick. You see, this is something that in the East people understand, but in the West they fail to. That's why the East has no problem dealing with a currency crisis. Why? Because if you go to places like Iran, you go to places like China, you go to places like India and other parts in Southeast Asia and then the near Middle East, okay, you will find out very quickly and very rapidly that these people always consider their currencies to be untrustworthy and unstable. And what do they do to compensate? They buy gold. They buy gold. And they buy lots of it. Lots of it. Okay? They have enough gold in the populace that if the government of some places like India or whatnot, they dare not have a gold confiscation. So you could have gold confiscation when only a small smidgen of your population has gold. You could say, like in 1934, right in this country, a small percentage had gold. And say we're confiscating gold. And the population at largesse, the population at large, will have no problem with it. There won't really, won't be much of a protest. Try to do that in a country like India. Try to do that in a country like Iran. Say, we're going to confiscate the gold. You will have revolution overnight. You will have government officials hanging from lampposts. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, okay? So this is so the people understand this. So the sanctions at the end of the day, number one, are useless. Number two, Iran is already using CIPS, China Entertainment System. Iran is also using the Russian Double Eagle, which is their SWIFT alternative. Iran's already doing that. And number three, you cannot sanction a trading partner of China. How the hell are you going to sanction them? You can't have any effective sanctions with the largest, most well-positioned economy on the planet. Anybody that's a trading partner of China is going to be fine. Iran never sold to you anyway. So the only thing the U.S. has done with the JCPOA is drive a divide between themselves and the European allies. That's all they've done. And while all this is happening, we have the Petro Gold Yuan. We have the Shanghai Gold Exchange. We have massive moves that are coming. That is going to link gold to currency. We have a massive move coming where gold will be some sort of a form of trade settlement. Massive moves. Okay? There are consequences, folks, when you take the road of world reserve currency. And you take that road, you take that road, and you take that responsibility very lightly. And you act like a belligerent mental psychopath, and the rest of the world sees you for what you are, and they said enough's enough. Folks, there's little doubt at this point that what is coming upon the world is a new monetary system. Cryptocurrencies has a place in it, but in the larger sense of the word, the power has and always will be gold. It will be the yellow metal. And let them manipulate the hell out of the price from now until eternity. I don't care. Because there's that time. The time of them manipulating the gold price is soon at an end. And the world, from China to India to Turkey to Iran, all over Africa, all over Asia, all over the Middle East, recognizes this new reality that has birthed itself onto the global stage. And we in the West are too busy trying to find out if somebody is one of the 73 genders. Are they self-identifying as a macadamia nut today? Are they identifying as a squirrel? Are they identifying as peanut butter? That's what we're concerned with. That's what we're concerned with. We need to start winning, and we need to start winning big. Because trends like this, unless there's a massive response backwards, a massive rubber band like response, and we begin to become more patriarchal again. We discover our balls. Okay. We discover our guts, our spine, and win this country back to what it is. And we don't do that, then we've missed it. We're going off a cliff, and it's not going to be pretty. Anyway, Siege, what else is going on, brother?
Well, again, just talking about paying attention to what's really happening on the surface, V, versus some Chan board of supposedly things. So this comes to us from Michael Snyder, and V, apparently the Department of Homeland Security is planning to compile a list of all bloggers, journalists, and social media influencers. The article goes on to state that many were hoping that once Barack Obama was out of office, we would see less of this Big Brother surveillance nonsense, but instead it seems to be getting even worse. In fact, the Department of Homeland Security has just announced it intends to compile a comprehensive list of hundreds of thousands of journalists, editors, correspondents, social media influencers, bloggers, etc., and collect quote-unquote information that could be relevant about them. So if you have a website, an important blog, or you're just very active on social media, the Department of Homeland Security is going to put you on a list and will start collecting information about you. As part of the media monitoring, the DHS is set to track more than 290,000 global news sources, as well as social media in over 100 languages. yada, yada, yada. This comes to us from Michael Snyder, who is running for Congress. Again, folks, pay attention to what's happening on the surface. This is reality.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And
so we'll be on a list. That's the great. We'll be on a list.
I love it. I love it. So much freedom. Do you feel the freedom? I feel the freedom, bro. You feel that freedom? It's it's only for freedom. There's going to be idiots saying, "Well, this is for left-wing guys. They're going to put like people like Cenk Uygur over at the Young Turks. They're going to put him on there because he's left-wing." No, morons. This is for all of us who don't toe the line. Okay? Who don't toe the line. And this is the issue that we got to deal with. It's unreal. It's unreal. Hey, we got to reach out to Mike, man. We got to get him back on.
Yeah, we should get him back on. And then, the other thing that I just want to put out there, because it's been way too quiet for too long lately. And so what I'm fearing is that there's something happening in the background, that they're preparing for something even more to warrant some type of military escalation with Russia, with Iran. But recently, about 6 days ago, the FBI put on a massive warning, and everyone started pushing this out, everyone in the media. And when you get messages like this, folks, you need to do the opposite, okay? So the FBI has sent out a warning to reboot your routers, change your passwords, disconnect it in case to prevent an attack. They're reporting that there's already some malware out there from Russia. If they're asking us to reboot our modems, or asking us basically to disconnect, from the cable services providers and then reconnect, that would tell me that there may be something there already waiting for us, a nice surprise that they can unleash at any time. So don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Don't reboot. I'm not sure what exactly that they could intend, whether it's shutting down the internet, whether it's who knows what it could be. But this is a clear sign. This is what they do time and time again, V.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's watch out for the change your router password and this, that, and the other. And these are the guys who go to bars, dance around with a loaded gun in their back pocket, and do backflips and shoot people accidentally. You're gonna trust these morons? These are guys with agendas. You're gonna trust these morons? I think not. I think not. And Siege, with that being said, bro, we're at the end of the broadcast. We don't have London Paul today. I want to wish,
it's London Paul's mom's birthday, so I want to wish her happy birthday. And
happy birthday.
London Paul's enjoying the day with her, but he will be back on Wednesday morning.
Fantastic. With that being said, we're over and out. Take it away.